probably going to be sort of a multi-part question in a way, but what's the process that from Connor's, I guess Connor's injured, what's the process that leads from Connor to Jack, and then when Jack goes down, what is your thought process with Brendan versus Dexter?
Yeah, I think Connor's dinged up, so obviously he wasn't dressed, but I felt like Connor, Jack was there, he's the next guy, and did some good things. Obviously got injured, so trying to figure out the final diagnosis for him. So we got two young quarterbacks, and Dexter and Brendan. So to me, their guys are very, very similar, and so I have a plan to use a lot of those guys today. Obviously with Jack going down, that created that. So they're very equal. I think they both have a lot of talent. I think Dexter did some really good things. There's no doubt about it. But both good quarterbacks and guys that we, I think are a big part of our future. So that's kind of where we're at, and we should get Connor back next week.
Matt and Sammy.
Hey, Coach. Defensively, especially in the first half, seemed like a lot of times you had guys right there when they had the ball, got arms on them, and then also when they threw it, there was guys 50-50 balls. I guess how surprised is it that this has kind of become a recurring thing, and guys who were making plays a year or two ago just don't seem to be making the same kind of plays this year?
I mean, there was a couple of those catches where it was, you're right there. You get the ball out, and the guys are fitting where they're supposed to be and got to finish tackles, So that's frustrating to me, and I don't, obviously, this late in the season, we've been working on tackling like crazy, and the guys are being, put in spots to make plays. They got to make them, and so it's frustrating. To me, it's very, very frustrating to have guys in those spots and not be able to come up with a play that can change the game. It really does. In those early parts of the game, it's a critical part where you got to make those key third down stops, and you got to be able to get those, whether it's a takeaway or whatever it happens to be. So, yeah, just really, really frustrating.
Same with the gym.
Coach, the veterans on defense were making, you call them crimes against the team, but Devin Matthews with a hit on the tight end and Taiwan getting into a little shoving match there. Is there any way that you think of maybe using bench motivation to help that?
Yeah, I think the thing for me with Devon, that was the third one he's had, there, on that edge of not being, using the best judgment. Obviously, it's a close situation there. I think at first we thought he was being called for targeting, which obviously he wasn't. So, but, Taiwan to me, they're going at it again, number one. You can kind of have your own levels of evaluation of that. The guy's standing up for, whatever himself, and they can choose to call what they want to call that. I'm not going to, make an issue of what he did in that situation. To me, that's just, two guys getting at each other. That's competitive football. But yeah, disappointed with just the judgment, with Devon, because to me he's a leader on our team, and it's just not the way you expect those guys to play. And obviously, you got to use, I know it's split seconds of that. It's not like it was some, whatever. It's just, and it's hurting us. So that to me is where you got to be able to address it. So obviously we got to, beat up guys back there, but at the same time that's frustrating as well. So yeah, definitely for consideration for sure.
Jim and Dustin.
Tom, obviously the defense took a fall off last year. You came back and you weren't going to start making the calls, and there's still, it seems to be that lag. It's still not coming up. Look at the numbers today: 91 tackles for Indiana, 56 for Penn State. Obviously Indiana had a lot more opportunities, but Penn State had 5 times the amount of tackles for loss. The only 3 out of 91 tackles were tackles for loss. It's that there's no, not getting to the quarterback, not getting in there. What is the reason you think?
Yeah, I think that it's just about us trying to those negative plays, the tackles for loss, the penetration you have to have up front. It starts with our defensive line. Just trying to manufacture those best we can. I know that that's something that we focus on a lot. And something we've always been really good at. It's been trademark for what we do here. So trying to create negative plays, whether it's sacks, tackles for loss, and those lead to takeaways too. So I think it all kind of goes together and fits together. So still continue to try to find answers for that. It is something that we spend a lot of time working on and take a lot of pride in. And yeah, you're right. It wasn't like the way it needed to be a year ago, and obviously this year we haven't done a good job of getting it fixed. So and that has to be a big part of who we are, because you get people on the negative outside of their drives and first downs, negative plays, those TFOs you're talking about, affects third downs, and gets us in better situations for that. There's being 3rd and 5, can be 3rd and 8 or 9, So, and even some of those third downs were very, close. Just trying to get balls out. I thought like one of our pressures, our Husky got blocked off the edge and didn't keep the edge, and Lance Bryant's chasing from the inside out, and it would have been a sack if he stays on the outside. So it's just that situation there is executing the call properly and staying outside and leveraging the quarterback. So we've got to continue to develop our guys and recruit players that can be explosive and violent and create those negative plays, because obviously it's a big part.
Nelson set.
I just wanted to go back to Brennan and Dexter. Obviously, it seemed like at least from what we could see, that Dexter throughout the season was kind of functioning as QB3. Obviously, Brennan's a true freshman. I guess wasn't here in the spring. I guess when and how did he play himself sort of into that discussion, and what kind of reps has he had before or even going into this week with first and second team guys?
Yeah, so I would say this: those guys are very, very, they're both young. They're both, talented guys. We probably see more of Dexter than we have of Brendan for sure. I think both of them have bright futures. So to me, it's just, there's really not a, I think they're very close. There's no doubt about it. I actually thought today, Dexter played better, so he made more plays. So to me, that was, you don't know until you play it, right? And so to me, they're both very equal. There's no doubt Dexter's been here longer, but at the same time, and moving forward, to me, it's just those guys are going to be battling it out, without a question. And so I liked what I saw from Dexter, to be quite frank with you. So, but I think just the consistency of making throws. Obviously, the pick was not a good decision, and so we got to eliminate those. And obviously, Brennan threw a pick is a little bit different, but at the same time, you like to be able to have both those guys be developed in our program and continue to compete, because I think they both have a really bright future.
Seth Westman.
Tom, you had offensively, I think it was 8 straight drives without a first down. And obviously, the Jack's injury kind of impacted that. I guess, and I know a lot of the bye week is spent self-scouting and all of that, but with the extra time to lock in on the game, I guess, what do you feel went wrong with the offensive game plan tonight? And is there, I guess, big picture, is there any, is it more the offensive game plans, or is it kind of just things happening in individual games that the other teams are thrown to?
Well, I think, bottom line is no matter how much time you have or don't have, you got to execute, and I feel like, it's really difficult up front, not being able to give our backs a chance to get seams to run through and the quarterback's time to throw, so that to me is really the bottom line. I think we have to really focus on getting ourselves, continue to work to get better there. It's not good enough. It's killing us right now. It's making it very, very difficult for our offense. I don't care who the quarterback is. It doesn't matter who the running back is. And so to me, that's, and there's no doubt. We play a team I think has got a lot of good players, and they do a lot of good things defensively. So you knew it was going to be challenging without question, especially if you get behind the sticks and behind your schedule on offense, which happens too many times. And so I felt like his first downs really kind of hurt us more than anything tonight. But yeah, to me it is. It's a frustrating thing, but in order to move the football, it's got to start up front. And we got to do a better job in that area for sure, and obviously making changes as much as possible. We've got to keep working on that. But that to me, like I said, I don't need good methods here. There's no magic scheme. You've got to block them up front, and when you block them up front, then everything works a whole lot better. It's about getting our playmakers the football and letting us have a chance on offense. And so I'm excited about these young quarterbacks, but at the same time, we got to get better up front so we can highlight those guys and let them do what they do.
All right, thanks, Tom.
Have a great night, Elio.